It's windy. Alright, now that I'm in Montana, I've discovered I probably need a gravel bike. But I thought, let's test out the Spearfish and see how it does. So this is going to be a little loop. It's about 12 miles, and probably more than 3/4 of it is on dirt, on some dirt gravel roads. My GoPro's struggling. It's cold out here. It's about 21, 22 degrees. But yeah, so we'll see how this bike does. I'm actually going to keep it unlocked most of the time. Oh man, it keeps dying. It's cold. I just stuck it up my shirt. Hopefully that'll get it a little bit warmer. I've been debating what I should get. I sold my framed Wolf Tracks carbon. Kind of have a 3-bike rule for myself of how many I can have at most. So I sold that, and I'm going to use that to buy something for this kind of ride, but I'm torn on what to get. I've had a lot of different gravel bikes. I've had a Specialized Diverge. I've had a Trek X01, which is a cyclocross bike. I've had an old Salsa Fargo that was way too big for me. So anyway, I've been thinking of a Fargo or maybe a Journeyman, but in the end, I don't necessarily love flat bars. I mean, drop bars. Now I'm starting to lean towards getting like just an older Karate Monkey or something like that, and putting some alt bars on it. So like the Surly Moloko, or however you say that, or maybe even the Jones Loop bar. I think that'll be a good option. It's so hard right now with this bike shortage going on. If you've tried to buy a new bike recently or even look for a used one, there's either no new ones in stock or the used ones are demanding really high prices, and I don't want to do that. The reason I'm considering the alt bars is, instead of just flat, is they're a little more comfortable. They curve back. I think it's, you know, anywhere between 37 and 45 degrees. A little more upright. And then the Jones and the Surly Moloko have a little alternate position, forehand positions, where you can get a little more aero, which I don't really care about except to get out of the wind. And there's lots of wind here. But it's mainly a fatigue thing of getting tired of having my hands one position. And I already move mine around a lot on flat bars. Kind of go from here to here. Sometimes I'll grab here, but it'd be nice to have something else. Down in those trees, you got the Jefferson River going through. Beautiful area. And this road's great. It's gotten a lot better, I think, because there's more houses this way. It's not as bumpy and rocky. I did lock out the back just now. I can tell, but it's not bad. Kind of feel like I'm testing the popular debate of, are gravel bikes even necessary? Are they just becoming old school cross-country mountain bikes? To be honest, I think it depends on what you're riding, as most things do. If you're not having some super steep climbs, the road's pretty good. I think a traditional gravel bike of, you know, 40mm tires and rigid and more like road bike gearing, yeah, I think that's totally great. But I think there's a difference between gravel rides and gravel roads and forest roads. Out here in the West, there's tons of dirt roads, but a lot of times they're up in the mountains. You need lower gearing for that, and so I think you're gonna have to find something that's less of a traditional gravel bike, and they are more like an old school cross-country mountain bike, which is why I'm considering the Surly Karate Monkey. I would have it rigid, most likely, no suspension. I don't think that's necessary. A rigid mountain bike with some 2-inch tires, or even smaller, you could go a little smaller, I think is perfect for those kinds of things. You get really low gearing. You can run drop bar if you want and figure out a way to get some really low gears, but flat bars or alternate flat bars, I think they're kind of perfect for riding up forest roads if that's what you've mostly got around you. Even this, they would be great on. This section is smooth. Yeah, this bike, I don't feel too sluggish on it. The Spearfish is generally a fast bike. Of course, it depends on the rider, and I'm not a light guy, but you know, I'm not trying too hard. I'm about 16 right now, without really even thinking about it or trying. Right, here's our turn, Primrose. Gonna go left here. This will take us to just south of Silver Star. Goes through a really pretty area. Lots of little creeks and a river in here. And right here, this is the type of road. If this is what you're riding on, go ahead and get something that has clearance for 40 millimeters max, because you could fly on this kind of stuff. So I blocked out the front fork because, man, it's gotten windy. This is where lower, more aerodynamic things will be helpful. It's kind of a crosswind, but it's mostly a headwind. And catch 22 with the mountain bike gearing is top end is super low. I'm in my second highest gear right now, and I'm going slightly uphill into the wind. So once you're going downhill, you're kind of can end up spinning and not having a gear. The reason I'm looking at an older Karate Monkey is to get some 2x gearing with the second chainring up front, so I can have low gear and you know, still decent top gear. Here we are, back into Silver Star. It is so windy. You can see the ice floating down the river. Here's the town of Silver Star right here. But I'm gonna hop back on the road and head back to my truck. But hopefully you enjoyed that. Spearfish did pretty good. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. It is so windy, I'm dying. Holy cow. Pedaling as hard as I can. Going 6.5 miles an hour.